Um, Let me just start by thanking everybody for the process. I'm telling you, this is amazing to have this open forum, have a superintendent that supports discussion. Superintendent Madden told me when he asked, he said, please I don't have any agenda. You just say what's going on. We want to hear. And I think that's been the demeanor generally. And I just want to thank the board, and I want to thank everybody that's contributed and continues to contribute, continues to weigh in, because we will create the future. We are the future. We and our students will create what it's going to look like. And if we're quiet and we don't give our opinions, we aren't going to make something that we're going to be proud of. So let me give you some just personal things for me, and then a couple of teachers I wanted to mention. At the very beginning of the year, I watched one of my good friends, a physics teacher, put together little physics bags for all of his students, and he sat up in the parking lot with a mask on. And they came by and got these bags of physics stuff out of the back of his truck. It was amazing. And I was so excited for those students to be in a physics class with actual hands-on stuff. I watched a good friend of mine, a special ed teacher, bringing in students every day for weeks now, both masked up on the computer, helping those kids work. The only ones he hasn't been able to get in are the ones that the parents say, I tried to get him out of bed, but I can't. And that's not really on him. I've watched another special ed teacher that has been guiding the whole department, working every day. They're present with students in the building, working with them because they're particularly needy in this way. And she's made adjustments and even risked her own health to do this. And it's just amazing to watch. Another teacher told me today that she really feels the growth in certain students that may not have been recognized in a regular environment, but now here they are presented with this challenge, and they're stepping up because they have an opportunity to show that they really value their education. And she was so happy to see some of these students doing that. I've seen our administrators and our staff working their tails off every day. They are there all the time working really hard. I feel like the vast majority of the people that are invested in this system really want to get better and really want to make this valuable. I believe that teachers are learners and we are learning. And this first quarter has been a learning experience, and my learning curve is steep. It's been going up dramatically every day, and I think that's true for every single committed adult. Let's talk a little bit about the kids. So when I think about what we teach in school, and I teach at a high school, so I watch hall passes, and I watch ringing bells, and I watch songs that tell people to go to class. And in my mind, I think, now, are these the skills I need my students to learn? And they are not. They're not the skills I want them. What do I want them to learn? I want them to learn the really tough skills. I want them to learn to be a self-starter, self-regulator, self-motivator, excited about learning, able to get up in the morning and do it on your own. That's what I want to see. Well, guess what just happened? We took away all that stuff and we turned it into World War II. This is our war. This is not easy. They talk about the greatest generation. Guess who the next greatest generation is? These kids. They're resilient, they're learning, they're tough. We're here and we're helping them. I'm so proud of the work that they're doing. My attendance rate is great. I'm looking into a black screen most of the time. It's really challenging for me. I've asked them to turn on their cameras. I'm worried about people teasing them if it's on the recording. Those are all challenges we're working on. I have students that told me, please tell everybody to turn on their cameras. I'm having a hard time talking into the blackness. I'm like, welcome to my world. The other part of it is so exciting. And I really feel like we're going to make some great progress. I want to finish with a few quotes. I asked my students, it's one of my favorite parts about this. I love the chat. It's also why I like Nearpod. I love the chat because anonymous questions. You don't have to feel dumb. You can talk individually with me the whole time. One of my favorite things tonight was being able to talk with John and tell him how amazing he is and how much he has motivated me in his speeches. I've heard him give and brought a tear to my eye, but to be able to do that privately without embarrassing he or I, now I've done it, so that's a waste of time. But anyway, I love being able to do that chat. Let me quickly read a couple of these that were in the chat today when I told the students I was going to be at the school board. I said, you don't have to say anything, but if you want to, please do. So check this out. Unedited, not cherry picked. I love that Wednesdays are work days. Whoever came up with that, congratulations. I love that Wednesdays are work days. That's probably my favorite thing about this online format. Second one, I think that the 4 classes is really nice, but there's a concern with the gaps between quarters, especially with the AP test. I think online is a smart choice, but it's true that we have suffered socially and it's harder to connect with teachers. I have felt the workload is manageable. It has been pretty okay being online. There's more work in general than I would probably say is appropriate in other classes. I would much prefer real live classes, but this is safer and what we need to do during a pandemic. I think that all things considered, things are going good. I like having face-to-face class each day and having a day for work. It's a lot less chaotic than it was in the spring. I do feel like I'm missing out on a lot of stuff by not being in person. I think online school has been okay, not great, not awful. I like seeing each class every day, but the AB day separation is really stressful when thinking about the AP test at the end of the year. That's the only part of online school that I actively despise. It has been smooth for me with online school, but I do wish that we could be in person. This class seems like it would be really fun in person. I don't know if that's a backhand compliment or what. I miss being able to see my friends and learn with people, but all in all, it's been manageable work-wise with the organization. Being online has been super hard to focus. I get bored and distracted all the time. One of my teachers has to sit in a Zoom and just assigns us assignments on it. Other than that, it's been good. I do feel like I'm not getting as much out of school because it's hard to be on Zoom. But also with the rise in the case numbers, does make me scared, and I do feel like I'm getting better at using the technology. Next one. Also for the school meeting, I hope they know that staring at my computer on Zoom for 7 hours is a little much. I'd like to hear that they're also criticizing screen time. And lastly, I think it would be great if you talked about how human connection and socializing with peers has really suffered during this time. I don't necessarily have a solution, but just emphasizing that it's a very real thing that has been really hard for a lot of people would be great. It seems like a lot of students are really lonely right now, and I don't know how that aspect of the situation has been approached yet in the school board meetings. Well, there we are. And my response to each of these students today was, I feel it. I'm with you. And I'm telling you what, if you're worried about students not learning, don't worry. They're learning. They might just not be learning what you thought they were going to learn, but they're learning resilience, toughness, and how to deal with the world when the carpet gets yanked up from underneath you. And that's all I have to say.
Thanks.